Hi, welcome back to Miss Johnson's Read Aloud time. We are reading I Survived the Eruption of Mount St. Helens. This is an I Survived book, which means it's a historical fiction. This event happened in real life, but the story that we're reading about this person named Jess is not actually real. So we read chapter 1, which kind of painted the picture on when Mount St. Helens erupted. Now we're going to go into chapter 2. So chapter 2 is going to kind of start the story out. So here we go. Chapter 2. 8 weeks earlier. Sunday, March 23rd, 1980. Spirit Lake Memorial Highway, Washington State. Skeleton Woman is not real, Jess said. She's totally made up, Sam agreed. Can we please stop talking about Skeleton Woman, said Eddie, Sam's twin brother. You're giving me the creeps. It was a sunny morning, and Jess and the Rowan twins were riding in the back of a red Ford pickup truck. Mr. Rowan, the twins' dad, was up front singing loudly along with his favorite disco song. They were about 20 miles from their hometown of Cedar, Washington, rumbling along a winding highway. The road was lined with trees, a forever stretch of forest and rolling hills. They were heading to the Rowans' fishing cabin, which was on Loomis Lake, up closer to Mount St. Helens. It wasn't a fishing season quite yet, but Mr. Rowan wanted to get the cabin ready. He was happy to have Jess and the twins tagging along for the day. Looking across at the twins, Jess saw 2 matching buzz cut heads, 4 identical green eyes, and about 10,000 freckles. When they were little, Jess would have done anything to look more like them. She'd blown out her birthday candles with a wish of green eyes instead of brown. She'd even drawn magic marker freckles onto her pale skin. But Jess had outgrown that, and anyway, the twins weren't so exactly alike. Eddie was quite quiet and serious, and Sam never shut up, and he had a fearless streak that sometimes got all 3 of them into big trouble. Like today, for example. Mr. Rowan didn't know the real reason that Jess and the boys wanted to go up to the mountain. Skeleton Woman. She was an evil woman from a scary old story, kind of like the witch from Hansel and Gretel, but worse, because she supposedly lived around here. She had wild white hair and coral black eyes, and rusted metal claws instead of fingers. According to the old legend, she lurked in the dark forest and covered the slopes of St. Helens, the mountain that rose over this whole valley. She wandered through the woods searching for children whose bones she used to make her magic powders. It was just a creepy story, the kind you told while you were roasting marshmallows or huddled together in a slumber party. But some of the kids at their school actually believed Skeleton Woman was real. One girl, Missy Samuels, swore Skeleton Woman lived in the broken down shack in the woods near Loomis Lake. The whole part of the forest is cursed, Missy had said, flicking one of her curls. It had been last Wednesday, and they were in the blacktop of school. Eddie had been impatiently bouncing a red rubber ball. Usually they played kickball at recess, but Missy wouldn't stop yakking about Skeleton Woman. Jess used to be good pals with Missy, but that was about 1 million years ago, before Missy's dad got an important new job at the lumber company. Now Missy lived in the biggest house in Cedar, the only big house in Cedar. Skeleton Woman is in the woods, Missy went on. My dad says that some of the workers saw her, and now they refuse to step foot in the part of the forest. That's not true, Jess said. They saw her, Jess, Missy insisted. Her clothes were covered with blood. It's just a dumb story, Eddie scoffed. If you're so sure, maybe you should go to the shack yourselves, Missy said. This was starting to sound like a dare. Fine, Sam blurted out. Well, go. Jess and Eddie had shared a look that meant, please tape Sam's mouth shut now. Too late. Fine, Missy said. You better bring a camera because I'll need proof. Within minutes, she blabbed to everyone, making it sound like a big joke, with Jess and the twins as the punchline. So of course, they couldn't back out, which is why they were here in this cold morning, sitting in the back of a red pickup. But what if she's actually there, Eddie asked. Then Jess will take her picture, Sam said. Jess gripped her backpack, where she'd put Dad's camera. She felt a pang of guilt. The camera had been Dad's prized possession, and Jess knew that Mom wouldn't want Jess taking it into the woods. but Jess would be extra careful. She'd been wrapped in a plastic bag in case even wrapped it in a plastic bag in case it rained. How will I take her picture? Jess asked. Miss Skeleton Woman, Sam said in a high-pitched voice. Say cheese. Eddie leaned forward and bared his teeth like a skeleton. Cheese, he growled, a glob of egg glistening on one of his teeth. They all burst out laughing, and Jess's honking giggle mixed with the twins' loud snorts. It took them all a few minutes to calm down. Eddie's face got serious again. You guys aren't scared, are you? He asked. Nah, Sam said. No way, Jess lied. Of course they were scared. Who knew what they would find in the shack? Even if they didn't find Skeleton Woman and her bones, there could be a bear or a thousand rats. Jess shuddered. But fear was better than any other feeling, wasn't it? Like missing her dad who died in a car accident 2 years ago, or worrying about Mom who seemed to be lonely and worked way too hard. Those sad thoughts were always flickering at the edges of Jess's mind, so it was good to have other things to think about, like an evil old witch with smoldering black eyes. All right, so that is chapter 2 from I Survived the Eruption of Mount St. Helens. So it's not really an exciting portion right now, but it is important because it's kind of setting the stage for the story. And they've kind of introduced this really cool kind of myth or this kind of rumor that's going around about the Skeleton Woman. So what do you think of the Skeleton Woman? Do you think she's real? Do you think they're going to find her? Find out next time. Tune in for chapter 3 coming soon. Bye.